Now, officially 4 o'clock in the official 4 o'clock, so we can start the meeting. And this is the 2371st meeting, for those who are counting out there. And first order of business is acceptance of the June 5th minutes.
So moved.
And I second, so that's good. We have no correspondence, nobody loves us, and we must have some department activity.
Captain Marin has a whole list of stuff for you.
Good.
It's been
Go
busy.
right ahead.
Busy couple of weeks, so bear with me. This is the activity report from June 5th through the 18th. A plan is in place for the town's annual fireworks display to take place on the 6th with a rain date of the 7th. The operational plan will be similar to what was deployed last year.
Good.
And back in 2017, the patrol division responded to 2 incidents of counterfeit currency being passed at local businesses on the same day. Suspects, however, fled the scene. Shortly thereafter, Detective Greg Benedetto initiated an extensive investigation and was able to identify a suspect as a 24-year-old Brooklyn man. Arrest warrant was subsequently secured back in March of 2018. In May of this year, we were advised by New York State Police that they had our suspect in custody and were holding him on the strength of our warrant. Back on the 4th, Darien detectives extradited the suspect and he was charged with forgery and larceny charges. Also on the 4th, patrol officers arrested a 39-year-old Norwalk man via warrant for his role in an altercation he had with a girlfriend. The incident occurred back in January of 2019, but was only recently reported to us. On the 5th, employees of 1500 Post Road, which is medical offices, almost across the street here, reported that upon arrival to work, they discovered a ground level window on the exterior of the building had been pushed open and someone had entered it. Check of the businesses revealed that nothing appeared to be missing. On the 6th, officers participated in Coffee with Seniors at the Mather Center. On the 8th, approximately 2:30 a.m., officers responded to the intersection of Middlesex Road and Oxridge Lane on a report of a 1-car motor vehicle accident. When they arrived, they located an unoccupied vehicle which had left the roadway, crashed through some bushes, and then struck an unoccupied residence, causing minor damage. The operator was determined to be a 22-year-old Norwalk man. He was located a short distance away after he left the scene. The man was subsequently arrested for evading responsibility and failure to obey a stop sign. Also on the 8th, officers responded to Dunkin' Donuts approximately 10 p.m. A report of an intoxicated male causing a disturbance. During the investigation, officers observed that an 18-year-old New York man had caused damage to the bathroom. He became belligerent with officers and was subsequently arrested for criminal mischief and breach of peace. Since early April this year, detectives have been conducting an investigation of a Darien contractor regarding complaints of construction work being paid for but never completed. On June 9th, and as a result of the investigation, the contractor, a 45-year-old New Canaan resident, was arrested via warrant for numerous consumer protection violations. On the 14th, 34-year-old Bridgeport woman was arrested via warrant by members of the patrol division. Investigation revealed that the woman, who was previously employed as a nurse at a senior living establishment in town, had been stealing patients' pain medication over the past several months. The woman was arrested for illegally obtaining prescription narcotics and larceny 6. On June 15th, this past weekend, patrol officers responded to 4 burglaries on unlocked motor vehicles on Old Parish Road and on Holly Lane. Those occurred during the overnight hours. Also on the 15th, during the overnight hours, officers responded to 372 West Avenue on a report of a stolen motor vehicle. A resident reported that the 2014 Ford Explorer was taken from the driveway, and he also reported that the vehicle was locked, but that the keys were inside. The vehicle has not been recovered as of this point. On June 17th, a storage trailer belonging to Darien Junior Sailing was broken into and vandalized. It's the second time in 2 weeks that the trailer was vandalized. On June 3rd, a vent cover on top of the trailer was reportedly damaged, and on the 17th, the fenders were damaged. Entry was gained through a roof vent, and profanity was written on the inside walls. The trailer is located on the property to the side of Weed Beach. And also this coming weekend, the MS Bike event is scheduled. That'll be on Sunday. This is the first year it starts and finishes in Darien, and cyclists are able to choose a 25 or 50 mile course throughout Lower Fairfield County.
Where will it pass through in Darien?
There's a course, Middlesex Road, on up to Hollow Tree Ridge Road, down to the Post Road. Post Road, down kind of Old Kings Highway South-ish,
Okay.
and then down into Tokenique and into South Norwalk, and then there's a kind of a lull, and they return Tokenique Road and go down West Avenue,
Okay.
finishing up at the middle school again.
And
So it's starting-
approximately what time do they get to Darien? Do you have any idea?
Well, they're starting in Darien
Oh.
at 9, and they do that first leg.
Okay.
And they're expected to kind of return to Darien around noon. It's not
Okay.
really a race, so there's
Yeah,
different paces involved. and
Sure.
There's some people that will still treat it like a race, and I'm sure zip through it quite quickly, but it's just more of an event, people taking it at their own pace. So we'll
Okay.
have officers on hand directing traffic for them.
thanks.
Numerous officers staffed the Middlesex and high school graduations the past 2 nights, and no problems to report. And lastly, we had 108 traffic stops with 40 infractions being issued over the past 2 weeks.
That was a busy
Busy.
It was a busy week.
2 weeks.
Just to point out too, we've been relatively quiet on the overnight vehicle entries since about February.
Yeah,
But this past weekend, we did have 4 and 1 stolen car, unlocked vehicles, and 1 with the keys in the vehicle. So we're just reminding people, please, don't get complacent, and please lock your cars in your driveways at night and take your keys inside.
good advice. Okay, old business entry level testing update.
Yes, we have, we're accepting applications again, and that's up until July 14th is the closing date. We do have 1 selected from the last go-round, and we're looking at a swearing-in date of July 8th. If we have at least 1 commissioner possibly able to.
I will not be here on July 8th, but
Will you be
Jamie,
available?
you're right.
Would July 8th around 3:15 be okay with you?
If Jan will send me a reminder. But yes,
That's for Brown.
generally, that's fine with me.
Okay, that's going to be the swearing-in date for him, July 8th. And that's it for that.
Civilian dispatchers?
As you know, the 3 new civilian dispatchers for the evening shift was approved in the budget, and we have started the process of posting. We're working with HR, Human Resources, of posting that job posting. It went out today. Captain Anderson's going to be working with HR to initiate that testing process, hold the dispatcher exam, receive the exam results. They're looking at mid-August to receive the results, and then to hold interviews towards the end of August for those 3 positions, for 3 additional civilian dispatchers.
So what will that give us now, as far as civilian dispatchers as opposed to officers?
Once the 3 new ones are hired and trained, we'll have full-time civilian dispatch for day shift and evening shift from 7 a.m. until midnight. There'll be civilian dispatchers working.
And is the screening and process the same as the first go-around?
The same as the first, right?
No changes.
Background checks, everything, testing process, interviews, right?
Okay, well, that's very good.
Yep.
Okay, then we have Middlesex Middle School SRO.
Yes, we have, we are asking interested officers to submit their letter of interest to Captain Marin. And once we have an idea of who's interested, we're going to start our in-house interviews for that. And we're going to include one of the administrators from Middlesex Middle School to come and sit in on the interview, as we did the same process for when we did the Darien High School SRO.
Well, I think we'll all agree that this is a real step in the right direction in Darien, and, thank not only chief and the captains, but also the Board of Finance and the Board of Selectmen for making this possible. And I think it's going to be a real benefit. Certainly it has been the high school And I think it could even be more of a benefit in the, within the middle school, because you can get to these kids a little bit earlier. So, cheers. That's really great. And I presume we will have some applicants for this position?
Yes,
Good.
yes.
They start immediately, they don't wait till September till school starts?
Well,
obviously.
we're just going to do the selection process and then get them some training over the summer. And then for the fall school year, they'll be he or she will be in place.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, then we have a promotion ceremony coming up.
Yep, as you know, the promotion ceremony for captain, lieutenant, and the 2 sergeants' positions will be on June 26th. June 26th at 5 PM at the DCA House.
Okay. So we should have a very good attendance for
I would think
for
so.
that, I would
I
expect.
think we're going to get a packed house.
Very good. Okay, under new business, this is another terrific thing to comment on, Chief.
Yes, very proud of Detective Beth Diorio. She works, part of her assignment is she works with the Financial Crimes Task Force, which is a task force of state, federal, and local law enforcement officers. And she was assigned to work on the case, an embezzlement case from the BMW dealership on Ledge Road last year. And she did an excellent job with that, brought in some of the Financial Crime Task Force members on that. Found that an employee there had embezzled an extensive amount of money, over $1 million, over numerous months. And the U.S. Attorney's Office has recognized her good work, along with some of the other task force members, and she received an award on Friday from the U.S. Attorney's Office. Very proud of her.
That's great. And our favorite false alarm account?
Yes, this is an item that we always receive false alarm funds for historically. This has been ongoing. I just wanted to make sure the commission was aware and make a motion to spend $3,500 out of the false alarm account for our yearly participation in the Technical Investigation Unit. It's the unit that we're part of. We've been a part of for about 5 years now. Officer Mauricio Vigil is our representative. We get an awful lot of benefit from this. We work in conjunction with the state's attorney's office out of Stanford. 6 towns are part of it. And we've got an awful lot of free stuff from them as well through federal grants and training that Mo has been to. Well worth the money, and it's a false alarm account expenditure every year.
So you would like a motion to be made to approve that, I
I would.
presume?
So moved.
And second.
Thank you.
So that's wonderful. Now, before we head to executive session, I'm a little concerned, Captain, that we don't have any traffic issues. What are you doing? You solving everything, or?
The summer lull maybe has begun.
Okay,
I do have a couple things on the burner, but nothing for tonight.
okay.
I'll be back in full force next meeting.
Well, let's hope so, okay. Because we miss you from this.
Things are pretty smooth all in all.
That's
In the
good.
second weekend of the bridge went as smoothly as the first weekend,
Yeah.
at least from residents, maybe
Little-
not from your perspective. but-
Little busier on Norotan and Ledge, a little bit busier from Hecker Avenue to near water, but all in all, much better than projected.
Certainly better.
As much as I sometimes think the DOT, not sure they're always knowing what they're doing, this one, they planned it, implemented it, and pulled it off perfectly. I don't think you're gonna win any better.
That's
So I gotta give them
great.
some kudos on this project.
No, I
anyway.
agree.
That's good,
It
Almost
was
hard
good
to
planning,
believe.
very good
It
planning.
seemed like it was not possible.
Yeah.
yeah.
Our guys did a really good job managing the traffic on Ledge Road. That was a little bit of an unanticipated situation there. It was very, very busy those couple of Saturdays, but we pulled it through. Our guys did a nice
2
job.
Saturdays versus 3 years of,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
bridge construction just seems like a huge.
I'd just like to add that you know, to commend the officers that stepped up to help us out with that. It was quite the task, getting that scheduled around the clock, 2 weekends in a row, and guys taking times away from their families to take care of that, and it really helped us out.
That's
Town
great.
out.
Excellent. All right.
Very good. All right, does anyone else have any new business to
Got nothing
present?
else, just have
Nothing?
one executive session item for
Yeah,
you.
okay, and we will not be coming, will not be voting,
No
correct?
vote, correct.
Okay. So I will call the end of this meeting, and then we'll go into executive session.